Hi guys, welcome again to Lulu's School of Animation. If you have checked out our previous videos, we're actually talking about 12 principles of animation. These are very important to get started with your animation, so I really wanted to go over them. Remember, one video means one principle of animation. So today we're actually only going to be talking about timing. So timing is so important because you need to know how much an action will actually be playing for, right? So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is grab a piece of paper because one piece of paper means one frame. Usually a frame can stay on screen for two frames. So say for example this frame right here, it's going to stay through frame 1 and through frame 2, which means another paper will be the number 3. Now I know that doesn't make too much sense, but we're actually going to do it so that you can understand it better. So the first thing that I'm going to do is name this first frame first. Now on the right side we do a little timing chart that looks a lot like this. Now, of course, the first line being drawing number 1, and it's also a keyframe. So if you don't know what a keyframe is, check out my video right here where I talk about keyframes and frames and 24 frames per second. So that's going to help you a lot. Now, this is the timing chart, and right here I'm going to put our keyframe number 1. Now what's gonna happen is we're gonna take another piece of paper, and this is going to be our last frame. So if you guys take a look at this chart, our last frame, let's say for example, is number 9. Now it is also a keyframe, so we can do a circle right here just to tell yourself that this is actually a keyframe. So we're gonna do that number 9 on a circle, and that will tell you that that is a keyframe. Now what happens is we're gonna go ahead and make sure that there is drawings in between, that they're actually called in between. Of course, as the word says, it is the drawing in between two frames or even two keyframes. All right, so that is going to be our next drawing right here. So first, let's go ahead and draw our number 1. Now, because it's simpler to explain it with a ball, you know, that ball exercise that we did on our second video, we're gonna go ahead and do it again, but today we're going to explain timing. So I'm going to go ahead and do our first ball right here. This is number 1, remember that. 9 being our last frame, so what we're gonna do is take another frame and we're going to put the number 9 right here. So this is our ninth frame. Now we can go ahead and do a ball. What we do is we flip so that we know exactly where that ball is going to land. So it looks like something somewhere around here. So this is ball on our 9th frame. Now what happens with timing? The more drawings that there are right here on top, let me just turn that page. The more drawings that there is on top, if I did another drawing right next to this one, that means that this motion is going to stay in the higher part of our paper for a longer time because there's more drawings next to each other on the top of the frame. What happens is for timing, as I mentioned earlier on our slow in, slow out video, is that the motion will stay longer in the beginning and in the end. Why? Because that's slow in and slow out. So what we do is, since we already have our drawing number 1 and our drawing number 9 and 1 and number 9, we're gonna go ahead and add our in between. So we're gonna go ahead and grab another piece of paper and we're going to go ahead and draw somewhere here, and we can flip again just to give us an idea. There it is, so somewhere around here. So this seems quite good. Remember, we could stretch a little bit, so since it is falling, we'll go ahead and stretch it. Now that we have 3 drawings, this right here, we don't know what number it is, right? So what do? We go back to the chart. So let's go back to the chart and see our in between is, let's say for example, drawing number 3, right? Now, it could be also a keyframe. It really depends on what kind of drawing you're doing, if you consider it a keyframe or not. For our ball exercise, let's say that it is a keyframe. So we're gonna go ahead and circle it. And now there is another in between number 3 and number 9. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna put another line. And of course, if this is number 3, this will be number 5. So we'll go ahead and put number 5 in there, and we're gonna go ahead and add another in between, which will be our drawing number 5. Now, there is a name to what we're doing right now, which means we didn't start by drawing number 1, number 3, then number 5, then number 7, then number 9. We actually start drawing our number 1, and then our number 9, and then our number 3, and then our number 5, and then our number 7. What we're doing right now is actually called pose to pose. I will be making another video about pose to pose, so just wait for that. Today, we're just going to focus on the timing. Now, what's gonna happen if we draw our drawing number, if we look at this right here, if we do our number 5, our drawing number 5, next to the 9, so that means that it will be a little bit to the lower end of the page. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find our drawing number 9. There it is. So we're gonna go ahead and draw it more towards this side. So there is our number 9. Again, it's really close to our number 9, which means our timing for when the ball falls and hits the ground is going to stay a little longer, just because we did 2 drawings that are next to each other on the bottom of the page, and that means that it's going to stay longer. So that is what that means. So I hope that was clear. We already saw how we do a ball assignment, so definitely check my previous video if you want to do the ball assignment, where we talk about slow in and slow out. But pretty much right here, what we saw today, just to give you a recap, is that the closer the drawings are, the slower the motion will be, and it will stay for longer in that specific part of the page, of the frame. So that is how you do timing. Now, as far as our timing chart, the one that we did right here, this is something you'll want to do for almost every single animation, every single action that you do. It's our timing chart, and you pretty much have to stick to it, and it's going to help you a lot figure out your timing. What does this mean? That just looking at this chart, that from drawing number 1 to drawing number 3, it actually sped. It was going really fast because there's no other drawings in between. Now for number 3 and number 9, because there's 2 drawings, number 5 and number 7 in between, that means that that motion is going to go for a lower speed. So it's going to stay longer in our paper. So that's pretty much timing. That's how you figure out your timing. And I always start by just doing our keyframe number 1 and our keyframe number 9, or first keyframe and the last keyframe, which will allow you to really understand what's going to go in between and how long is it going to stay for. Now, when you actually shoot the film, you're of course going to shoot the frame number 1, frame number 3, frame number 5, 7, and 9, accordingly to how they are. And once you play your film, it's going to go that time that you chose is going to be perfect if you do it the way I did it. Thank you again for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up at the bottom. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And if you want to learn more about animation, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, where I'm going to teach you tons of things such as Maya, Toon Boom, how to do a walk cycle, and other things. So I will see you on the next video, and thank you again for watching.